Hello and welcome to another episode of Straight Talk with Roger Hunt. This episode here we will be featuring a very special guest, Danielle Hayden, who is a great personal physical trainer, physical fitness, right?
Yes.
Correct. Welcome to the show, Danielle. Great to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
And a couple of questions that we're going to impose on Danielle to see if she can help some of us out, those who may be looking to improve on their physical fitness. We know summertime is coming up and we're getting ready either for the beach or that fabulous cruise that we may be going on.
Or weddings.
Weddings, of course, yes, weddings and class reunions, family reunions, those kind of things that are coming up. So Danielle, to start things off, can you tell us what it means to be physically fit?
I think physically fit is different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, to be curvy, they like that. Some people like to be toothpick skinny. So I think physically fit kind of is different for each person.
Okay.
I mean, my definition is just kind of getting through a day and all the physical activities that you have to do, maybe for your job, maybe for your kids, or just maybe activities you're involved in without getting worn out. Like if your job involves lifting boxes or climbing stairs, getting out of breath climbing up a flight of stairs is something you may always have to do. So if you're getting tuckered out from that or you're out of breath, maybe you're not physically fit for that job or that kind of like daily activity. So I think it just depends on what your daily activity requires and kind of what you have to do.
Okay.
And being able to get through all those without, fatiguing quickly, I think is what I would say was physically fit.
Okay, so great. So this being still the early part of the new year and everything, and people say I need to get in shape, I need to get my body together because they want to look good, feel good. What would you recommend, someone just starting out for the gym the first time? So I'm coming to the gym. What is it that you would tell a person for the first time coming to the gym, or even people that have been to the gym and just want to do something different to improve their physical fitness?
Well, I mean, it can be, sometimes the gym I know can be intimidating for people that are, just kind of coming back into the gym or just have never been there. So since it is a little warmer, maybe just getting outside and walking, until you're kind of comfortable with that, and then getting around people, so maybe in a park or something until you're comfortable. But, I mean, easy kind of, I want to say mindless work. You can do like the treadmill, you can do the elliptical, the bike. That's just something you don't really have to think about that you probably won't get hurt doing. So for somebody that's a little too nervous to maybe go ask a trainer for help or something, maybe starting with that and then kind of getting acclimated with the gym, with the people, and just kind of asking questions to other members, or, I mean, training staff is usually within a gym. So just, getting comfortable with everybody, asking questions, and then kind of moving forward. I do recommend for anybody that, hasn't been working out, fitting resistance training, some kind of weight training, whether it's machines, free weights. I think that's very important for your body. But at the same time, I know right in the beginning that might be a little tough for people to just jump into. But I definitely think asking for help, whether it's from members or the club staff or trainers, I think greatly helps people stay safe and motivated.
So with people coming in, and to add to that, should they check with their health physician, or if they have, or just before just starting a routine regimen? Because sometimes, well, I can't really run the treadmill because my knees are bad, I can't really bike because I have heart condition, things of that nature. I
mean, I do think that's important, obviously, to maybe see your physician and say, I'm thinking about doing this, what can I do, what should I avoid? So if they have knee pain, maybe the treadmill, running on the treadmill wouldn't be good because it's that constant impact. But something else like the bike, the doctor may recommend would be safe for them. So I think definitely seeing a physician first, because for a lot of gyms you have to sign a waiver anyways that, says you are cleared by a physician. So I do think that's important to know what's going on in your body before you just start working out.
Okay, so if we're talking about the treadmills, the ellipticals, the bikes, what about the strengthening part? I mean, the weightlifting. Some people like to do heavy lifting to bulk up. Some just like to do light weights, kind of maybe not so big, but just enough to kind of get some muscle tone or what have you. Or,
I mean, for some people, everybody comes in and says, I want to get tone. But
what does that mean?
But tone, I mean, that's a musical note. That's a musical sound. So it's a difference between I just want to get some muscle, so if I fall, I can catch myself, or I want to be bulky for the ladies. It's just, it's different for everybody. But if it just kind of depends on, what type of training you want to do. If you want to, build muscle or just, kind of define what you already have, your rep ranges and sets and everything is going to be a little bit different with your weights.
Okay, so I understand that you are an elite trainer,
Yes.
personal trainer. So I guess until I met you and started working with you, I didn't realize that there were the various levels of the personal physical fitness. So can you explain a little bit about that, the status of the training levels and what's that's all involved?
Well, for our trainers at our gym, whenever they come in, if you're certified, that trainer comes in just as your trainer. After a year of being with the company and with training, then you can move up and you can apply to be an elite trainer. You have to go through a whole new training. You have to have a certain amount of success stories. But you go through a new training, you apply for that, and then you're an elite trainer after that experience.
Now, with those various levels, how many levels are there?
For training?
For training. Well, no, for the trainers that you have with your organization. Is there certain levels? I know you got the elite training.
Yeah, we have training and then elite trainers, but...
Okay, so with there being, various levels of training within your organization, I mean, as far as the fitness trainer, so if you have the elite trainer, you may have one that's much more advanced based on the certification levels, and then you have a beginning trainer. It's a different level. Is there a price variance depending on if I want an elite trainer, depending on what it is that I want to do and what I'm looking to do? Is there a price break versus someone coming in with a beginning training? I'm probably sure there is. So
well, we have different levels of trainers. They vary 1 through 7. A lot of people don't ever get up to 7 because those sessions are around like $99 for an hour. But we do have different levels of training, and that's based on, I would say experience, but certification levels and I mean pretty much just certification levels, because a lot of people, they're like, well, this trainer costs less than this one, but at the same time they don't have the experience, they don't have the same success stories. But at the same time, all the trainers, they have to pay for those certifications. And certifications can cost a lot of money, take up a lot of time. So then that's why they do cost a little bit more. Because if you have somebody that has 4 certifications, they've put in the time, they've put in the money, and that's kind of how they get recompensated for that.
Okay, so being in the gym, is there such thing as excessiveness, someone being on one machine too long, or working on certain parts of the body too long, excessiveness? And the only reason I say that because there's one person that works out in the gym. She was always on one machine 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I was like, oh my gosh, is she helping herself or hurting herself more so than making any progress?
The lady that was watching 3 TVs at one time?
Yes, exactly. So, hey, we won't tell anybody about that, though.
Okay.
But that was kind of an interesting person anyway, though. But I just thought that was excessive. I thought it was excessive, every day, all day, same machine. But I figured, hey, if that's what they want to do, watch TV, 3 TVs, hey, go for it.
I mean, you have people that are kind of stuck in their ways and do the same thing. But I've seen people that come in the gym for years do the same thing, and I never really see them change. And I know people get frustrated, especially being the beginning of the year. A lot of people make those New Year's resolutions, and then by like March or April, they're gone.
Right.
But it's because they haven't seen anything, because they come in the treadmill, they do it like 30, 40 minutes, and then they leave. But, when you kind of look at that, with anything, like your body adapts to it. And if you want anything to change or to get any kind of results, you need to have some kind of muscle confusion. So maybe you do the same routine for a week or 2, and then you switch it up, or a month or 2. A lot of programs that we have, they're about 3 months, 3 months long. But, we up the weights every time. We change the rep ranges and everything. But, like, a lot of people that come in and they have, they'll tell me, I have a job where I'm on my feet all the time. I walk around, I move. I don't understand why I have, excessive weight. But your body gets used to that because you do it every day. So you have to add something to that, to kind of confuse your muscles, like, hey, we're doing something different. We need to change to adapt to this new type of working out. So, I mean, a constant muscle confusion is necessary to see any kind of progress and results.
Okay. And another question, a lot of people do the protein, the energy drinks. How much protein, again, depending on if you want to bulk up, take the protein or meal replacement, because they're not really eating, or just to tie them over. What do you recommend as far as, the protein intake or energy?
I mean, protein, I would say a lot of people, men, women, doesn't really matter. I think they lack protein in their diet when you look, it's kind of based on science. You know, how many grams you get of carbs, protein, sugars. A lot of people just pay attention to calories.
Okay.
So that's kind of the first thing we have to combat as trainers, because women are like, well, if I eat a little bit, or even men, if I eat less, then that'll be better for me. But, you know, everybody's body is a little bit different, but a lot of people don't look at the proteins, carbs, and sugars, and that's really kind of what's important.
Okay.
So if you're just looking at calories, I wouldn't restrict calories or anything. I would kind of look at, you know, the other things, the other macronutrients that are in food. But as far as protein, so take your weight. So say we'll just say 180 pounds. If somebody weighs 180 pounds, if they want to kind of maintain or lose weight, they need to eat about a gram of protein for every pound they weigh.
Okay.
It's like 180 grams of protein, which is, I mean, it's very difficult to get in a day. But somebody that's bulking up, I mean, you need to eat quite a bit. So if somebody weighs 180 and it's like 1,800 calories to maintain what they have, then in order to gain, you know, you need to eat double that. But to get 4,000 calories in a day for a lot of people is kind of madness, especially if you're eating good foods. It's kind of hard.
And I was going to say, you want to eat the proper types of food if you're going to bulk up, because you don't want the fat to take over, you know, get that confused.
Because some people call, what I call it, dirty bulking. Like,
okay.
Oh, I'm going to get McDonald's, ice cream, and everything in there, just because that's how they can get more calories. But, you know, then you lack everything else. You don't get the protein you need and the complex carbs you need and the good sugars, the natural sugars. But I would say a lot of people lack that just because they don't plan out their day and they're just constantly running around trying to find anything they can eat.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, Danielle, I'm going to tell you this. I've been intrigued and learned a lot today, talking with you about fitness and everything. Look forward to my personal training session with you and everything. So, although I did miss my shot.
Although you did miss your shot.
I missed the shot. But ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to say this has been a great episode, another great episode of Straight Talk with Roger Hunt, Unscripted with Danielle Hayden. She is a personal fitness trainer. So, oh, by the way, if someone wanted to hire you personally, can they do that, or are you allowed to?
All the trainers, like our trainers that we have, it's in the facility.
Okay.
So we don't do a lot of at home and kind of traveling out. So ours is mostly on, you know, when people come in the gym, we train them in the gym, but they can work out other places because we assign homework.
Okay.
So that's kind of the off day workouts that people do. They don't have to do those with us, but you know, they can do those kind of anywhere. So in-home training, not usually, and off-site, sometimes off-site training.
Okay.
It just kind of depends.
Okay.
The situation.
So just so you know, we have a great facility in which she works out at, one of the major local gyms here, that has a great training facility, great gyms across the St. Louis metropolitan area. So if anyone is interested in maybe joining, and I'll just say it is Club Fitness here in St. Louis, Missouri. There's several clubs. That's where Danielle is a part of, and that's where I also am a part of. And so if you're looking for a facility, you know, we would love to have you come on board and get your physical fitness together and work out with us and be a part of our team. Straight Talk with Roger Hunt Unscripted. We will have another exciting episode coming up next week as well. So in the meantime, have a great one, and we'll see you on the tube.